Very early. Good morning.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn to be a morning person.
Well, JoAnna's smart because she's in the Midwest, so it's really 8 o'clock there, right?
Oh yeah, this would not be too pretty if it was any earlier for me. You guys are doing up.
And this morning, I would like to start out with thankful and grateful. I'm thankful and grateful that Matthew's wearing pants this morning. Thank you, Matthew.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Sometimes we're not sure.
I can't make promises every week, but
Take care of his daughter, and we were sure.
I'm blushing. I don't like blushing before this time usually.
All right. Well, we'll start here with what time is it? I don't have my phone with me.
I got it. We're good. 7:02.
7:02.
Or 6:02, and yeah.
All right, 6:02. So Joyce, do you have a phone? Because mine is apparently. Oh, there's mine. Hang on.
I got one too.
I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm at my house in Oklahoma, which I love, but it's also all windows and all skylights, and it's storming here. So if the background noise is too much, I hope it won't mess up what we're doing here, but just let me know if it's too distracting.
No, that'd be cool to hear thunder. I'm in the desert. We don't get rain.
Oh, let me close the door, or we'll hear barking dogs.
Oh, and a sick kiddo, but I already told him he had to cough in the other room. So.
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
You'd be sick for somewhere else for an hour. Selfish.
Okay. So up today, I'll start with an invocation. First, let's say thankful and grateful for having you all here. Let's bring our best selves to help each other become the best speakers, best presenters that we can be, and to achieve all of our goals and our dreams and our visions in this space. Happy Stadium. All right. So let's start out with a little bit of new and good. New and good. My friend Joyce over here is very excited to join the team. So that's new and good. I have a show at the Ice House in Pasadena on May 4th.
Boom.
I'm going to rock that. So there we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mateo.
New and good for me is I have my presentation finally on Wednesday, which is awesome. So I'm looking forward to speaking to the teachers at that one school. So that'll be good. And like I say, hopefully there'll be district members there so we can get something going within the school district. So yeah, so that's really good. And then the website will be getting made up too this week. So I'm excited about it. Yeah.
All right, good. JoAnna, you go next.
Oh, yeah. So on May 4th also is a big day for me. The National Association of Realtors is putting on a tech ed conference, which is hilarious because y'all know how tech savvy I am. But they did.
Are you just taking your laptop and asking for help?
Yeah, pretty much. They already had me get my slide deck over, so hopefully we don't have too many adjustments today.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that. I'm back in Oklahoma for a couple of weeks, getting spring stuff handled here at Happy Hollow, and just glad to be here and really excited. This is the first NAR sanctioned event that I participated in, and it's potentially good launching pad to be in front of our national association. And there's 3 million members or something. It's big.
Wow, nice.
That is a new.
Nice. Good for you.
All right, Joyce.
Well, this whole experience is new and good for me.
That's the spirit.
We like it. All right, we've got speakers today, Matthew and JoAnna. JoAnna, you were going to do 20 minutes, so let's have you go first. I've got it on record.
Okay. Well, I'm going to share my screen and see what happens.
And we'll put you on speaker view, and the floor is your. Can you please set us up a little bit with who your audience is for this?
Sure. Give me 1 second to have this pulled out. Let me just make sure I've got it. Oh, you guys hate me. I know it. I was so prepared. Okay, there we go. Here we go. There we go.
Or do you want me to keep?
Can you see my screen? My slide?
No.
All right.
We still see you.
That's good. Now do you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So this event is agents in the Tulsa and metro area, which There's about 3,000 of us in the community. So I'm guessing a couple hundred agents will be at this event. And it's a panel type of day with, 6 hours of presentations and I'm sure pitches from some of the providers that service our industry. But I'm on a panel and get this 20 to 25 minute window to talk about how technology has influenced my career and how I use it.
I love that, JoAnna. That is so perfect. That is
Sorry,
so
Joyce.
perfect.
It's extremely comical because no matter how early I get up, I tend to have a challenge here. So I'll get started. Okay, so guys, it's May 4th, and I already see that 40% of you haven't turned your phones on silent or airplane mode because it's busy spring season. And of course, the technology division would be the one that thinks we could take the day off work and come inside and spend it behind a screen. But I'm so glad to be here to share with you guys how I've managed to use the tools of our industry as leverage to create the opportunities to live my best life. So you guys ready to get started?
Yeah.
All right. So first of all, I hope that I'm going to challenge you to think a little differently about the tools of our technology. As a service-driven industry that we are, it's real easy to hide behind our screens and hide behind automation. So I'm just going to hopefully challenge you on how you think about how this works for you and your business. Are you really ready? Okay. First pop quiz. You didn't know there were tests, but here we go. What year is this?
Oh, man. What is that, 2003.
Oh, that was good, Matt. That was good. Okay, any other guesses? Joyce?
I'm saying 99.
Okay. Chris, what do you think?
2001.
Okay, close. 2005.
Oh, wow.
And this is how I know this for absolute certainty because these are the devices that I was using as an 8-month pregnant realtor in the beginning stages, the boom of my career. And I was here. And it's not just a hospital room. You might notice the little warming table off to the side. So I was 8 months pregnant with my first child, super fired up about my real estate career. I was 3 years in. Things were starting to rock and roll and finally bought myself a nice watch, got a new lease on a car, had all the best technology. It was so great. And do some of you remember our friend Sherry Sexton? She made these bracelets, these leather bracelets, like a cuff, and they had a little Velcro strap across the top. And they were perfect because maternity clothes have no pockets. So I was carrying my phone around with this Velcro strap across the top of it on my wrist, like a fashion statement. But it was the best thing ever because I could see who was calling, I could answer it. Now, keep in mind, we didn't really have calendars on these phones, really. And they didn't really take pictures all that well, if they took them at all. Texting was still like not even a thing. So that's why I still had the Palm Pilot. And I go into labor 4 weeks early because it wasn't really, August in Oklahoma is, kind of rough on a pregnant realtor. Go into labor 4 weeks early, end up in the hospital, getting ready to have my first child, and going through all the preparations that happened right before that. I still have this phone strapped to my wrist. And I'm still taking phone calls because now I've had my epidural and I'm feeling no pain. And nobody thought I was going to be in the hospital. Everybody had a closing and was negotiating. And I couldn't be out even for a few hours to have a baby. So my husband at the time very calmly takes my phone and says, "It's time to put this away." And in that moment, I realized I was tethered. And I no longer was using technology as a tool. Now, it didn't stop me. We went to the hospital, or went to the office on the way home from the hospital. I'm not proud of this. I'm just telling you. There's a moment in time where your career just takes off in a place that you've lost control. And sometimes it looks a little bit like this. So these tools, even back in 2005 that we had in our business, were meant to make our life easier, maybe safer, maybe better for our clients. But what in the world did they do to us? So I tried this for a while. I'm not going to do anything different. Everything's going great. Maybe it'll just get better. Well, not so much. That same kiddo, when he could talk, asked me, Mom, are you going back to work in the middle of the night again? Meaning I did put him to bed at 8 or 8:30. My office was 4 blocks away. I would get in my car and I'd go back to work with his dad at home. I didn't leave the baby home alone. But that just tells me that he woke up and wanted me at some point in time. So doing nothing didn't really work. And then we moved so fast forward another 10 years. Now we've got amazing tools. We can voice text. We can tell Siri where to direct us to. We can tell Alexa what to add to our Amazon Prime shopping list. But are these really tools, or are we still letting them be tethers? How much time do you spend learning a new technology? I did my senior thesis on slow adaptation. Now, I know you guys that know me think that's hilarious because it's still true, sadly. There's so many options and so many places and so many ways to go about using technology. How long before it changes? Oh, when am I going to have to learn a new version? How much does it cost? You know, you look at we just did taxes, or some of us did, and looking at our list of subscriptions and syndications, which ones are we using, and are they really getting us where we want to go? So today I'm going to share with you some of the ones that I've used as a slow adapter, and ones that I feel like have really given me good leverage and opportunity to use technology as a tool rather than that tethered balloon. Showing time. If you guys aren't using an automated showing service, it's time to start. At first, I was really slow to come around to this idea because I thought, how am I ever going to talk to my clients if I'm not the one to call and tell them they have a showing request? How many phone calls does it take to manually set up a listing appointment? Or, a buyer appointment? At least 4. A buyer, a seller, the other agent, and then somebody gets a call back. How long does that take you? And can you do it in the middle of the day when you're driving around clients in your car and on your Bluetooth and your speakerphone and getting voicemails of your clients when you're trying to set appointments for them? Automated showing service is one of the highest and most successful practices that I've adapted to service my clients in the best way, and they absolutely love it. Email. Are you getting your voicemails transcribed? So if you're in a meeting or with a client or in the middle of a project online, you can look down and see the content of the message. And guess what? If it's really intended for the title company or the lender or your business partner or the other agent, forward, one click of a button, that voicemail goes to somebody else that really is the right person to handle it. Co-scheduling. How many hours a week are you spending on your social media, looking for good content, surfing around, and then you end up in some black hole watching rabbits in Indonesia? How many times does that happen when you're really trying to work and you just go into some crazy space online and don't even know how you got there? Right. Co-schedule. Give yourself 30 minutes a couple times a week. Find the best articles, put them in your co-scheduler, set them up on your social media for your LinkedIn, your Twitter, Facebook, whatever services you use, and make that fit into your schedule. Don't let it be that tether that draws you in so tight that you're never going to break loose. Follow-up, boss. How many times have you taken a phone call in the car, written it on the back of the MLS sheet of the house you're getting ready to show, go show the house to the buyer wants the sheet, you're like, sure, of course you need this, and there goes your lead. There goes the lender you needed to call back. There goes the really important phone call that you had to make afterwards. Or better yet, you leave it in the house for the next agent to come by and pick it up. Follow-up, boss. Put all your leads, contacts, everything into a manageable system so you don't lose these things. And not everybody's ready the day they talk to you. What happened to the guy 3 months ago that lived over in Patrick Henry, and now I've got a buyer that wants that house, and if I just remembered who they were. Follow-up, boss. Super simple, and you can integrate your team into this too. So if you have buyer's agents or showing assistants or transaction coordinators, they can all see what's going on in the process. And I promise you it saves time, or I would not be doing it. Top producer, a CRM. Doesn't really matter which one you use as long as you use one for the whole time. I started with Top Producer. They were around in 2002 when I got my license. I'm sure there's some great products out there, but I'm scared to death to learn a new technology. But I have every client that I've ever worked with in this system, and that helps me stay in touch with them. It helps me track where they're heading and where I need to be servicing them. Autoresponders. So those of you that know me know I like to travel. And those of you that have worked with me might not know that I've been traveling. So autoresponders on emails and texts are brilliant ways to stay in touch with people, let them know you got the message. If any of you call my voicemail, you'll hear, "This is JoAnna Blackstock. If I've missed your call," this does not mean I don't answer my phone. "If I've missed your call, I'll be returning calls between 12:30 and 1:30 and again before the end of the business day. I look forward to chatting with you." They know I'm going to call them back. They don't have to call me 14 times before 12:30 because they know. Now, I better be somewhere where I can return calls from 12:30 to 1:30 because you got to do what you say you're going to do. But it's changed my world. I had a coach make me do that one time in 2010. And as you guys might remember, we weren't getting a lot of phone calls at that time. And let me tell you, he would call me from trick numbers. He would have other people call me just to see if I was following the rules. And it did train me. And it has been very, very, very helpful in managing my time and my clients' expectations. Now, that doesn't mean I don't answer my phone when I'm available. It just sets the expectation if I've missed your call. Social media. Going back to the travel thing. It's fun to show your personal life. It's fun to show people that you're a real person and that you have a real life. Obviously, you have to keep that tame. Don't make a social media post that you're at happy hour if you have 4 clients you haven't called back that are friends of yours on Facebook. Come on. Let's think about this. What's your world look like to other people, and are you communicating the way you want to be seen? Going back to the auto scheduler, I have a coaching group that I talk to my peers every Friday morning. They knew I was in France for much of the month of November. However, they said, "JoAnna, your social media was so well done, it didn't look like you were gone. We thought you were posting pictures after you got back." So keep in mind how you're being received on the other end, not just what you want to share, but how it's being seen. FaceTime and Skype. This year, our team has sold 2 houses sight unseen. One client was in Norway, one client was in Colorado because we FaceTime and Skyped properties, negotiations, inside of cabinet doors, the really, really sexy parts of the HVAC system. It's a game changer. Use it that way. And believe it or not, direct mail still is an effective way to communicate with clients. Future, past, geographic farm areas. But you must incorporate the technology-related call to action. Text for this and more information. Call for this information. Go to this website. Here's the email to send an email to get your property valuation. So direct mail has not gone away. It's still a marketing piece. They still see it for 3 seconds. But if you give them a tech-related call to action, that is going to create immediate engagement. And guess what? Give you some contact information. And one more idea in virtual assistants. And some people in our market are doing great with the Philippines or other areas to virtual assistants. I'm talking about the people in your existing world that help you with your business. Doesn't mean that you have to be right in front of them face-to-face on a daily meeting. Are you using the tools and availability of communication that we have to stay in touch with your closer, transaction coordinator, lender, assistant, front desk manager, buyer's agent? So virtual assistant doesn't always mean paying $3 an hour to a third world to do something automated, although that's a very good piece of the puzzle. Don't put that in just to one category of options. The other thing that's important in using technology in a service-related industry is getting feedback. Sometimes we all have those clients that think if they get our voicemail that we've, gone on vacation. So be sure that you're getting feedback from your clients. If they're getting frustrated or they're feeling like they can't really talk to you enough, then you need to be calling. And a very, very important conversation in the initial process of starting with any client is, how do you prefer to communicate? Some clients are so busy they will never, ever talk to you any other way than text. Some clients don't even have texting capability on their phones, so you need to know that ahead of time, or they don't check their email except every 4 or 5 days. So welcome feedback, solicit their response to the way you communicate with them or how they prefer to be communicated with. And same with other agents and people that you're working with in your transaction. Are you guys sharing information effectively? All right, so here's where we get overwhelmed. Are the tools in your navigation system really helpful, or are they hitchhikers weighing you down? Now, I'm sure a good 25% of us in this room have 2 phones. Let me see the hands. Show me. Okay. Is one personal and one's work? Yeah. And what that work one goes away at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, whatever time you decide to end your day? No, it does not. They sit side by side each other all day and all night long. I've seen you guys. I know it. I know how it works. You're sitting there. We all happy hour. We all have brokers opens. I see you all stacking them up. I don't know how we don't lose one of those 2. But are you really letting these tools be helpful to you, or are they weighing you down? Or are they just along for the ride because you just, they're used to having in the back seat, you don't want to kick them out? Some of these hitchhikers could really be dangerous to you, particularly in the car, and I won't even get on texting and driving. Persistence. This is key in our business, and I'm a little detouring here from technology, but if you're like I am and have a little trouble adapting to new ones, pick a few that you know work, or that you've seen other people work, or they can show you how they work, and stick it out. Don't go get the next new device every 60 days that comes out. Don't upgrade to every single, it used to be free, now it's $4 a month system. Find the 5 or 6 things that really work for you, that work for your business, and stick it out, learn how it works, and learn how to leverage it. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be easy. We all dread that iOS update, or having to get a new phone, or that time that half of us have dropped a phone in the toilet or the sink, because there will be stumbling blocks. And just in those moments, we'll remember how much technology has helped us and how much it's hindered us. Do you even know your spouse's phone number? Do you know your lender's phone number? Do you know your office phone number? Do you know your business partner's phone numbers? Come on, it happens. How much has technology really been a tool for us, or has it tethered us to it in a debilitating way? But take action. If you feel like your tools are causing tethers, eliminate one. Maybe you don't cancel the service. Maybe you just set it in a drawer for a week. Maybe you stop using one particular tool that's creating an extra 6 to 7 hours a week that you're spending in front of the computer or on a tablet or on your phone. Come on, try something different. I mean, those of you that know me know that I like my fair share of parking tickets. Because who has time to find the proper parking spot when you've got to show that place on Cherry Street? You're never going to, if you circle the block, your clients are going to leave because it's going to take you another 30 minutes. So take action, do something now, respond to feedback, ask for feedback, so that you can really start enjoying the life that we work so hard for. Now, finally, from that hospital room in 2005 to last year, 2016, I learned how to unstrap the tethers. I learned how to tie up those big ropes that tie us to technology, tie us to obligations, tie us to hours and hours behind screens. And I did a little of this. And guess what? Work got done. I stayed in touch. It was great. And then a couple months ago, I was able to do this and go and do some charity work. Why are you working so hard? For what? Is it urgent stuff or is it important stuff? In 3 days, the ladies that I took this trip with, we helped change lives. We put shoes on children's feet. We gave an economic opportunity to a village of ladies that are selling jewelry to tourists and are now able to help them build homes. So if you think your tools are helping you live a better life or make things easier, are they really? Or are they tethers? And whether it's our clients, the community, the world, you really can have everything you want if you help enough people get what they want. And are you doing that by using your technology as tethers or tools. So this last year, I got to mark off one of my 101 things to do. And it was a hot air balloon ride. And thank God for my tool that I got the text at 7 o'clock in the morning from my stepmother that said, hey, do you want to take a hot air balloon ride? And I was able to answer her in an instant, absolutely yes. And then I took that same tool up above in Tulsa with my youngest son, and we took video and we enjoyed our time. It's captured forever because of the tools. But let it untether you. Take it to a new height. Follow your GPS to success. Thank you.
That was really good, JoAnna.
Thank you.
Considering every third week we can't hear you or see you, your technology talk was excellent.
Well, thank you.
How was the hot air balloon ride?
It was awesome. It was so great. And it was from that Canfield exercise where we had to write the 101 things. I mean, I knew I always wanted to do it, but it made it an absolute yes that day. So
awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'll go first. I thought, like I said, I thought it was great. I thought your slides were great. A really good use of them, kind of just to keep your story going without a whole lot of words. I think that's good and it's important. Let me think. I think the quiz up front was really good. It got us involved, got us thinking kind of, and you made a good connection right off the bat, which was awesome, especially getting right into a pregnancy story. I thought that was great. I got connected quick and I got connected with the story quick, and then with the quiz and some other, interaction like that. I thought it was a really good opening and everything. So really, really good job there. Let me think. There were a couple slides you had just on a technical standpoint. The roads that you have with arrows going everywhere, and that last slide was Zig Ziglar. You still had click to add text or something on there from PowerPoint. So you might want to just make sure you get rid of those. And then there were also, you had some like really good slides that were funny. I almost thought you should just pause for a brief second when they come up, like the car parking on the stairs. I thought it was great, and it's like I was looking at that, and I kind of was not listening to you, but I wanted to see I'm like, what the hell is that, right? I thought the slide was so good. If you just gave it a quick pause, just give it a quick pause, it would have a little more impact, which was good. And I like that you called out the audience. When you got to the end, it's like, I know what you do. You think you put that away, you were saying something like, you always have that on you and stuff. I think that was good. I think that's a good change of, I'm talking, and boom, I'm in your face. So that's one of those good. I thought it was great.
Thank you.
Hey, JoAnna, can you stop sharing your screen? I haven't figured out. I can't figure out.
Wow.
Oh, there we go.
All right, there we go.
Thank you for the technology assistance.
Yeah, right.
I think you did a great job. It really is. It's a great job. I like some of the things that stood out for me. I liked your cartoons. I think Matt gave you a good point. A little bit of a pause on your jokey ones might have a little better impact, or use animation. I don't mean to add extra technical difficulties to you.
Well, I've got my hands, and you guys couldn't see me moving because I definitely couldn't click screen on to me, so I can animate.
I was talking about animating the slide, just so we're clear. I love the line "rabbits in Indonesia."
Oh yeah, yeah.
I love that line. I actually looked at some of these things, going, I wonder if I could use them. So I think that was really good for me. It pulled in. Your slides really well done. He mentioned Matthew mentioned the click in the back. It's a little distracting. You just want to look at those ones and pull those out. I like the call to action with tech was something that I thought was relevant for me, even though I'm not in your space. So here's. I like the way that it was set up. I think I would have liked you intimating a little earlier about how you can use it to get what you want. So you know how you save that for the very, very end? I was thinking if maybe you moved up and said, look, what we want is we want tools that are going to help us to get to this, and maybe show the picture of Paris earlier, and then end with the kids that you're helping, because that was a strong end. I wouldn't touch that moving, but I might move up that one slide as a teaser for the end. So if you think about it, you're kind of people going, oh yeah, she got to go to Paris because of this. Now, like, and say, where do you want to go, kind of thing. Like, there are things that you want, and then say at the end, hit that, that piece. Like, I went and I helped these people, and I got to check off my 101 list. So it's a little bit of a tie-in from the beginning to the end, and because beginning it was very informational. You know what I mean? There was a nice story with you talking about being from the hospital bed kind of thing. But then that little thing, and that story of, like, there I was with my kids. Well, I use now tools that allow me to do this. Oh, I bet you want to get a little more time off too, don't you? Well, let me show you how. Right? And then give them the piece at the end. It's that little piece, I think, might just tweak it to be even more powerful. Here's a next level thing you might want to do. So when you have a slide that has a lot of text in it and you're going to be talking about it, and it's 1, 2, 3 bullet points you're going through, either highlight the bullet you're talking about, right? So now I know where you are. I'm like, where are we on the list? Right? So my head's thinking where I am on the list versus that's where I am on the list. The other thing that you can do is you can add a picture when you're there. So you highlight it, and if you noticed in your slide, you had the text, and then you had a bunch of white open space. So when you're on one line, highlight it and bring up a picture in that open space. Highlight it and bring up a picture in that open space. It's a technique I use multiple times when I have a long list like that to draw people's attention to it. And just so you know, I thought one that I would at least do on one was the one where it said, so how many of you are posting on Facebook and a picture of you drinking? You should have a picture of you drinking. So how many of you are like, I haven't gotten back to your thing, but because you're like, woo, like you got your hats on, like, and you're posting like, aren't you supposed to be selling my house, dude? So like that would be a really funny moment, I think, to have the image to back that up with. So I think you could do those ones, or the ones.
Chris, how do you do that? Is that then an individual? Like, do you just copy that slide with all the words, and then every new slide is going to have a new picture and a highlight? Then, so you're constantly clicking. Is that right?
That's the way I do it. So
okay.
Now, instead of your slide being 20 long, it's for each one of those bullet points, you have a brand new slide that highlights the word that you're on and has the picture on it. So you do that. So you can animate it, but with that many ones, for people who are tech savvy, I've done it. I've had stuff animated, like it's floating and things, but it becomes so complicated. It's much better to take a picture, copy the slide, highlight the bullet point that you're on, put a picture next to it, highlight it. So every time you click, you're going to the new slide. It brings up the next topic.
Okay.
It's just, it's one of these little advanced techniques that I think would help you keep people a little more focused on that one. You had good stories, but if you surprise them with a picture, like I'm gonna highly recommend you find a picture of you like, woo!
I'm gonna have to take that picture because I am sure I don't have any that I would have not deleted.
Yeah, right. How nude can I be in these photos? That's a good point. I like that.
Really well done. Really like the feel and the format to it. One other one, there was a slide where you had, is it a navigation system or a danger one? Like you said, you had a picture of a navigation. Switch the pictures.
Oh, okay.
Left to right.
Oh, yes, because I got the hitchhiker picture first and the co-pilot second. Okay.
So it's just a weird brain thing. If you put hitchhiker and then they look over there and like, but you've got this other thing, and now I'm confused.
Okay.
So my brain is going to read it left to right. Okay, so you want to flip those two images just to keep it consistent for people. But other than that, look, I'm talking little deal, little tweaks and value added. This was a really strong presentation, at least from my perspective.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I agree. And one quick question, JoAnna, is this like a one-time shot, or is this something you might present to different groups moving forward?
Well, I mean, for someone to ask me to tailor my motivational talk to technology, I had to create it. But I do see, I see the value, I see the relevance in it. So certainly, and I mean, there are representatives from our national association there. So my hope is that, and I asked for a 20-minute segment for this opportunity. So I appreciate this extra feedback. It is something that I hope will be able to be extended on.
Nice. Okay.
Good. Joyce, would you like to weigh in?
I would. A lot of what I thought has already been said, but great presentation. And honestly, I was looking at your slides, but I was also very focused or turned towards you, because you do have a really great animation in your face.
I'm so glad you guys could see that, because I couldn't.
So yeah, I mean, you kept my attention as well, which is great. Very good pace, very good. Not a lot of fillers, which I think is something that's an easy default. One of the things two of the things that I have written down, Chris and I think are brother and sister in some point, because we think very much alike. I had also thought, oh, that picture of you at the Eiffel Tower would have been perfect when you were talking about, hey, I was in France and I was still able to keep connected and keep working, and nobody knew. I thought, oh, that'd be great earlier up. Mm-hmm. And then when you're talking about at the end, I was thinking other places and drawing your audience back in by where do you want to go, which is exactly what Chris said. And then I also was thinking, gosh, there's a lot on that slide when you're going through. Chris nailed that. I don't know about the pictures in each of one, but I know I have in the past used where you just slide the new topic in as you click. Then it's one thing, and then 2, 3, 4, and you just slide them in as you're saying the new topic. So that's just something that I've done. I haven't done the pictures as well, and that's now a challenge for me. But really, really engaging, really fun, quick paced. I know nothing about real estate, and I was like, oh, well, what else can you use? Well, oh, that's really interesting. I didn't know that you used that.
Yeah.
So even though the topic is not where I live, as Chris said, definitely was still drawn in.
Right. Thank you so much.
Nice. Yeah, JoAnna, just to piggyback on their comments with moving that Paris slide up, it's kind of like, hey, look where I went. Oh, but you can't go because you're tethered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Well, and it's true. That's a limiting belief. I didn't think I could take a month off. I didn't think I could take a month off of work. There was no way.
Sure. Yeah. Call them out on it. Look how much fun I had working or doing here, but you can't because you're tethered. But good news, I'm going to show you how to cut the ties and use it to your advantage type of thing. So after listening to them, I agree. Moving a little teaser up like that would be pretty powerful. So great job, JoAnna.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Matteo, you are up next, sir.
Yay.
Okay.
Mine is just an interpretive dance this week.
Yay! You know I love that. What are you going to be wearing?
Chris. Oh, where am I at?
I'll use your line. Are you going to wear tight pants?
Of course.
Of course.
Okay, make sure that's right. So, okay, so I'm just going to go over my ending real quick, kind of like what we talked about last week. So it's not very long. I'm just ending up talking about taking action in life and doing some visualizations, and I'm going to end that with people sharing, creating their I am statements. So creating their goal and an affirmation so it's easy to visualize. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, you guys, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. So let's just take a moment here so that we can recap and just take a look at what we've talked about today. Hopefully now you understand that your thoughts are powerful and our thoughts are creating our reality. Also, though, our thoughts are choices. So if you're not getting what you want in life, you can use your superpower and make better choices to get what you want. We all get to choose what we think about, and we all get to choose how we feel. So with that said, I hope you guys choose to follow your dreams and follow your passions and go after what's fun in life. Because I believe the joy in life comes from when we're chasing our dreams and going after what brings us the most joy. And when you're on fire like that, everyone around you is going to benefit too. So take time, get clear, get specific on what you want in life, and have fun with it. Dream big. Assume responsibility for your life and everything you get with your results. That's what puts you in control, is assuming responsibility for everything you do and have. And of course, you got to take action. Take action often. Action can start small. And it's just like sharing the goals that we did earlier. Once you start that, you put them in motion. That's all you got to do, is just share your thoughts with somebody. That's a good enough action to start building momentum and get things going for you. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Sometimes I don't know how to use my clicker all the time. We learned 3 super choices today that can radically change your life. And there are more principles, there are more habits that can really help you dial this in. Hopefully I can come back and speak to you again. I also offer individual coaching and group coaching. And the reason I offer the coaching, the reason I am in coaching today, is because I believe that we all can make a big difference in this world when we decide to follow our passions and do what makes us happy. I believe when we're pursuing our dreams and we're living in gratitude, that there's no place for fear, there's no place for anger. And this is why we all are uniquely different. We all will have the chance to shine and show our true gifts, and I think that's just going to make everything a lot better. Every one of you is capable of doing anything you set your mind to, and you are worthy of everything you want. Can you imagine a world where everyone's thriving like that and living in passion? Can you imagine what it would be like if we all cheered for each other's success? Has anyone here ever got a standing ovation before for any reason? Has anyone been on stage or anywhere? Chris has. Joyce, how'd that make you guys feel?
Good.
Good.
Good? Yeah, usually it's pretty good, or even a little better than good. Can you imagine that feeling? I tell you what, do you guys want to end on something kind of fun? Does anybody here want to get a standing ovation? Anybody here want to nominate someone to get a standing? Yeah, Chris does. Chris likes.
I want to nominate Joyce, since she's new to our group.
Chris, I think that is a great idea. Joyce, I think you deserve a standing ovation today. So all you got to do is sit there and enjoy it. JoAnna and Chris and I, on the count of 3, we're going to jump up. We are going to cheer for Joyce like she just won a Grammy or she found that new sale we've all been looking for. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Joyce! Woo! Here you are! Yeah! Awesome. Thank you guys so much. That was great. Remember, go create the life you want. Be an inspiration to those around you and show them what super choices you're making. Thank you all for your time today. Be well and believe in yourself. Thank you very much. Look at that. Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
Here's my young track star.
They heard you screaming. He's like, what's going on in there?
I'm in the middle of the meeting, but I wanted to give you a hug. I intend you to, I see gold medal, ow, in your future. Okay, thank you. Ow. My muscly son. That was about 4 minutes.
Okay.
So I like the, I know that this is the ending, your pulled together moment. I love the idea of ending on a standing ovation. It is a good way to end.
All right, cool. Thanks.
That is a good way to end. But there's some things that you did in there that I thought were really neat. that I haven't seen before.
Uh-oh.
Who would you like to nominate? That, I think, was great.
Thank you.
And say, and maybe you can even add something there just off the top of my head. It's like, and tell us why you're nominating them. Right? So get people all going, oh, wow, who would I want to nominate and why? Get them thinking about, oh, I've got somebody. And then you're going to be able to pick out who's got the enthusiasm in the group. Say, okay, who is it? Oh, isn't that a great nomination? Yes, let's do that. Okay, are you ready for your audition, Sally, or whatever it is, or Bob?
Okay.
So I'm assuming you're doing this up in front of people. Don't have them sit there. Come on up, Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Stand up here, right? Soak it in. And like,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, everybody up. But I thought that was kind of a good one. Like if you can get someone to nominate, that would be, because now you got the entire crowd thinking about other people and what's inspiring about them and why they should get a standing ovation. I think that might be that is a very good tweak that you did there.
Thank you. I also thought it would be good forced volunteerism.
Yes. Right. No. That's I thought that was a really good to play with. So
great. Thank you.
Good idea there. Let's see. It's interesting for the webinars. I think this is just something for us all in general to play with a little bit. When you know you're going to be speaking for a long time, to move you can click on yourself and make yourself the main speaker.
Oh, I didn't know that, man.
So you might want to toy with that a little bit. So when you know you're not going to be, when you're clicking, you can go back and kind of, so you might want to toy with that as far as a webinar presentation to be able, so I tried to do that with you, Matt, because you were really kind of, closing. So I wanted to get more of your face in the picture as opposed to me looking at a slide. It'll be different in person, but just a thought.
I didn't want you to see that I might have been reading a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Didn't sound like it.
No, it didn't sound like it.
This is my other track star. Wait.
What's up, track star?
Can you turn your head a little bit? Love it. Love the
I love the ponytail, Casey.
Have fun. Bring home some gold medals. Thank you.
3.
Okay, 3 gold medals.
There you go.
I already have them.
All right. I am in the middle of meeting, but thank you, honey. Like, whoa. There's my.
So Matt, are you finished, Chris, with your feedback? Oh.
Yes, I am.
Okay. So I'm going to just start. It was one of the last things I put, but I love the nomination too, because last week when you were saying you were going to do it, I thought you're sitting in a classroom of teachers who aren't they're in the learning mode. So I was trying to think of a way that you could get somebody to volunteer or get them pushed out. Who in this room deserves a standing ovation? But I love the nomination word. That's perfect. And
okay, great.
You're probably going to hear more than one name, then you can get 5 or 6 people up there because that works well. So that way you're not having to single anybody out. And the one person that doesn't want to get up there, that's so humble they would never give themselves applaud, then they're comfortable too. So it doesn't put any one person really on the spot.
Okay. Yeah.
So our superpower. These are not in order because I started scribbling everywhere because I ran out of room. I loved how you used that in the end because choice is your superpower is the theme. And then I love how you brought yourself into that. And it felt more like a communal attitude of choices are our superpower. I loved that word. Where you said, I hope I get to speak to you again. I would say I look forward to the opportunity to speaking to you again. Just a little bit of an assumptive close there that you'll be back.
Okay. Okay.
But I love that you got the pitch and the close in there to tease your additional services. That was very well done and very smooth. It didn't feel like I was being sold to or asked to do oh man, that was great. Now I got to do something I don't want to do. It just flowed really, really well.
Yeah.
But I would definitely work on look forward to the opportunity of speaking with you again, or the next time we meet, I want to hear about your successes, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Thank you, JoAnna.
There's a strong word in there that you use that I think if you could maybe bold it in your slide or pause on this word, especially as people in the community service and, I mean, thankless work of teaching. You're worthy of everything you want. And I think when, I don't know about your state, but my state's like 50th in paid teachers. I think when they maybe don't have the resources that they want to do the things in life that they really want to do, there's all the human nature is the worthiness that you are worthy of doing, the work that you do, you're worthy of having everything you want.
Okay.
That's just it was a powerful word. And I think it's a moment where you've really got them. And it's also before you pitch the coaching. So, you're worth investing in and getting worthy of getting everything you want and imagine. And I love imagine if we all lived in our passions. That's we talk about it in our world all the time, but how often does that really get seen? Because they're in a problem-solving world, and there's always somebody derailing what they're working on in a big way sometimes. Right. So yeah. I think acknowledging that we all have passions that contribute to the greater good, and imagine if everyone lived that way. I think it kind of, in that space, I think it really helps give a vision that maybe it's easy to lose sight of.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
And then I don't remember where you used it, but I wrote down radically. It was appropriate, wherever that was. I hope it was written down so you remember where you used it.
I don't think I used that word.
Well, it's one that hasn't been used in a while. It was pretty rad at one point in time, but radically, that's a powerful word. So keep that in there.
Oh, yes.
Maybe when you watch the recording, you can remember where it was, but it was so impactful that I just wrote the word down. So good job.
Yeah, thank you. I know where it's at. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's good feedback.
So for me, not having benefit of the whole presentation, I think I must have missed the beginning part from another week, but I mean, the close was good. I was like, yeah, okay. It was inspiring for me. There was a lot going on the slide. There's different fonts and different colors and different sizes. And I found myself a couple of times looking at that and not listening. So I don't know if that's something you might want to tweak a little bit. But I definitely, the pieces that I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So that goes over to here. I was a little bit distracted with that, but the content was really inspiring, really, it's like, I can do that. That I was like, okay, well, and it really got me thinking about my next steps.
Okay,
and
great.
The other thing that did jump out was assuming the close for me. When you said, I hopefully I can come back. I would have changed that to the next time I see you, or when I come back again, I'll be speaking about, or I'd like to speak about. That way they're just assuming you're going to be back and they'll be asking about you. Well, when's he coming back?
Awesome. Yeah, I like that. Thank you.
When is he coming back? I like it.
When's he coming back? Well, when's your next? That way they'll be asking about you. They'll be going to whoever their booker is, whoever their operations person is, and saying, all right, so I really enjoyed that. When's the next time? How can I sign up? That'll give them a little fire to try and get you back on the schedule.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's a great way to look at that. And I'm glad you guys brought that up. I was going to ask if no one did, how was it that I brought up I do individual coaching and group coaching and all that? Because, like you said, I do want more gigs, and I do want to put that out there. But like you said, it's not like everyone get out your credit card numbers real fast, and then I'll go around and do a little. They still have those, right? They still have that.
Oh yeah.
So you think that flowed pretty good?
Yeah. And I would say also, I think it's perfectly safe. If you know anybody that would benefit from this message, here's how to reach me. So that you're planting the seed with them. Maybe they have a church group. Maybe they have a professional organization that would benefit from this conversation that you have with people. So that they're thinking about how they can promote you to sources outside that room.
Okay. And Joyce, real quick too, it is good to see an outside perspective because you didn't see the rest of it. On that final slide, what would have worked better for you? Or I guess Chris or JoAnna, you can add too, but I did, because I'm not in love with it either.
And there's a lot, usually I've heard like rule of thumb is no more than 4 bullet points. But then you also have different fonts, different colors, different sizes. So I was kind of all over reading, jumping around it, which took me out of my connection with you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And it might be different when it's over here and you're live. That might be a little different, and you're animated and you're pulling me in differently. But yeah, there's a few times that I was like, oh wait, I'm supposed to be over here listening, and I was reading instead.
So what about like clicking off of today's wrap up or something, and then as I talk about basically summing up the 3 points. So instead of maybe all the words, just like a quick word or two in the same font, would you think that would work better? So it's not as distracting?
Yeah, that might help. That might help.
Okay.
I like having the prompt though, so that when that slide goes off and they walk out of the room, they remember what those 3 points were. Yeah. So I would focus on what it is you want them to take away. So if that, whatever those 3 points are, if you narrow it to that, just be sure that they can, because as visual learners, some of them will be, and auditory learners, they're going to hear your message, but if they've got that, what did that last slide look like? That's how I remember. Or what they're maybe going to do, maybe not teachers, that pull their phone out and click a picture. How many times have we done that at a presentation? Because we want to remember something about it. Mm-hmm. Is that the message that you're communicating? So I just want to tell you this, because I made an observation, not specifically about yours, but on Monday night was the first TED Talk, and they streamed it live in some movie theaters. And so I literally drug Brian out of the house Monday night, and we did the first 2 hours of this year's TED Talks. And he gave the Success Principles workshop the very next day. So I very intentionally counted how many slides were used in those 20-minute presentations, how often did the slides even have content of what they were talking about, or was it just part of the message? And the most, in the 20 minutes, Tim Ferriss did the most slides with 11, and he was by far the most slide user. I mean, they went anywhere from 0 to 4 or 5 to his was 11. So, and that's just, he's got a quicker pace than some of the other speakers is I think why. So that really helped me kind of narrow my content a little bit. So that might be something. How long's your talk?
An hour.
Okay. So anyway, you've got obviously more to use, but that was just a 20-minute, 10 slides to 20 minutes. I thought was a nice pace.
Okay. Awesome. That's good feedback. Thank you.
You said something. So this is something I do. You had a slide in the beginning that had, these are the 3 things I'm going to talk about. I love the bookend. Here's my wrap.
Wow.
I started with this. I end with the exact same slide that says, so a lot of times when I was, I use a Stephen Coveyism, begin with the end in mind, and then I begin with the end in mind, right? So this is the end. Did we achieve this? So it's always good to, and from a storytelling perspective, it's nice to go, oh, we went from here and he said we were going, and he actually brought us here. So you could reuse that slide and just maybe have, instead of this is what we're talking about, or just instead of have wrap up, take that out and just say, this is the slide I started with, this is the slide I ended with, 3 things we went over today. Here they are, bing, bing, and bing. So and then just do the way you spoke about it, and then here, let's do this. Who wants a standing ovation? That one, you get it. I think that will probably work. So I remember from your other presentation that you had a choice is your superpower, and here's your 3 super choices. You might want to just take the wrap up piece out of it. Just use that one.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yep. All right.
Good. Thank you guys for the feedback.
All right, that's our time for today. Guess what? Joyce, you and me, we're up next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Joyce, are you doing presentations, or what are you working on?
So I have been in the human resource learning and development world for 20-something years. And I have created things for companies I've worked for and done presentations for companies, but I haven't been out in the in the real world. So that is my next step, is taking it and using it beyond my corporations. So
Oh, cool.
yes, so that is what I'm doing. I'm recreating a lot of the content that was specific to where I was to deliver to the world, to the masses.
Yay.
Nice, good. Well, I'm glad you're part of the group. It's nice meeting you, Jess.
Nice to meet you. I'm
I
excited.
found you and drug you here, however that works.
All right, so it'll be myself and Joyce, 15 minutes for next week. Let's end with appreciation. Look, guys, I know sometimes Saturday morning is sometimes a challenge for us to get up and get excited about doing it. But every time I get up, I hear some great content. I get some great feedback, and every time I'm like, wow, I can apply this to my speaking, what I'm doing. So I appreciate all of your feedback and the work that you're doing here.
Awesome.
Go ahead, Matt.
No, you go.
I just have to echo, I think maybe it was last week I said, I mean, how better to wake up on a Saturday morning, work, for me, my primary passion, teaching, speaking, and training with rock stars like you guys. And I mean, it doesn't matter if you're going to talk about medical devices or firing people, whatever. It's all inspirational. And so, I mean, to get a pep talk in what I see being my biggest driver in life, it's like, I mean, I would get up at 6 o'clock if I had to, but thank you guys for letting it be this hour.
Yeah. Thank God you live in the Midwest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only time I really say that, but yes.
That's great. Yeah, I agree. What a great way to start the day. I don't know if my family's as grateful because I leave this room and I'm on fire and I go attack them. So that's what I'm grateful for. Anytime I can stick it to those three, it's good. So thank you all for the great morning.
Excellent. Well, thank you for letting me join this wonderful group. At 5:30 when my alarm first went off, I wasn't sure. But I am so excited, and I've gotten so many great ideas and thoughts and tips, and so I'm looking forward to bringing that to you all next week.
Awesome. Fantastic. Good. Well, you guys have a great day. Enjoy your weekend.
All right, enjoy your weekend, everybody. Thank you.
Week.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.